Wonderful. How y'all doing? My name's Dan Sim. Um, Nice to see you all. I'm the assistant director over at the Catonsville campus, and I advise student government, and I email student organization leaders and advisors a lot. So it's good to see everyone today. Uh, uh, and we both are named Dan. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
If any of my colleagues not named Dan want to introduce themselves, go for it. Jordan's here. I know Chrissy's here. I'm gonna mute myself.
I think I can go. My name is Jordan. I'm a specialist in the student engagement office. Um, and I work at the Essex and Dundalk campuses. This semester I'll be at Dundalk on Fridays, so if you see me, say hello, or if you see me at Essex, say hello. I'm very friendly, I think.
I'm Destiny Jackson. I'm a specialist at the Dundalk campus for student engagement.
Hey everyone, Chrissy Hoffman. I am the Assistant Director of Student Engagement and I oversee the Essex and Dundalk offices. It's good to see so many of you here. And I think that's all of us. Dan Coco?
I believe that is all of us. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I can just share my screen. Okie doke. So hi, welcome everyone. So here's a brief overview of what we're going to be talking today. So first up is event planning, and that's going to be led by Chrissy. And then you have the choice of 5 different breakout rooms where you can learn a variety of different topics. So first is recruitment and retention. That's the one that I'm going to be talking about. Social media, which is Destiny. Delegation and clubs, which is Jordan. Advisors connect and chat with Chrissy. And new student leaders, and that's going to be Dan Sim. All right, so first up is event planning.
All right, so I get to take this off. So first of all, I hope you're all doing really well. It's hard to believe that classes are going to be starting in just a few days. But I hope you all are getting geared up and excited and just like a quick little quick assessment here. How many of you, and you can just say yes or no in the chat, how many of you with your clubs and orgs have already met? Meaning like you've been meeting over the summer, or you just met, I don't know, just the other day. But yes or no, how many of you have been meeting? Awesome. Okay. Great. This is great. So the reason that I asked that is because you know, when we can get a jump start sometimes on the semester. It is nice to be able to do that, but sometimes, you know, we just need to wait to be able to see people when we're back on campus. You know, vacations are hard to schedule around, all those types of things. So that's a little bit why I was asking. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes and give you a very quick event planning 101. Now, you can use this for any events that you have. You can use this when you're thinking about a meeting that might be coming up, a brainstorm, you know, anything like that. And hopefully, you know, we'll kind of just get through this together. If you have any questions, if you want to put them in the chat so that I can make sure that I address anything as we go through them. All right, Dan, if you want to advance I don't think I can, so. Okay. So there are 4 main questions that you always want to start with when you're thinking about planning an event or planning a meeting or whatever it is, but let's focus on an event for right now. So first of all, the first question is, what are the needs of our organization and how can an event help meet those needs? So when you think about your club and organization, I want you to think about what the objective or the mission of your organization is. If you don't know that, we should have a copy of your constitution here in student engagement and can always provide that for you. But you should really know what the ultimate goal is of your organization. So what you need to think about is, why are we having this event and how is that going to help us be able to meet our goals? Okay. I cannot stress this enough. You should not have a meeting just to have a meeting. You should not have an event just to have an event, right? So you need to make sure that when you do these things, it's purposeful in what you're doing, okay? Because if you don't, then people who are attending are literally just going to be like, I don't know what I just attended, because it just seems like it was kind of put together at the last minute, right? So that's question 1. Question 2, I want you to think about is, what are the needs of our campus community and how can our events help meet those needs? So again, you are a club and organization at CCBC for a reason. You are open to all students. And what I mean by that is that your events that you will be having or holding on campus need to be open to all students. That is just in our constitution and how student activities fees work. Now, some of you might say, but Chrissy, there's a requirement to be in our club. Like Phi Theta Kappa, you need to have a 3.5 GPA. I understand that. It's fine to be a member, a specific requirement to be a member of a club, but anything that Phi Theta Kappa holds is open to anybody. So that's a good example of that. So when you think about the needs of your college campus, what do students want to see? What do your members want to see, right? And what is kind of going on right now in your campus community that maybe your event can help with? So that's question number 2. We can go on to question number 3, which is, what do we want participants to learn or experience at our events? Okay. There are many different types of events that we have. We can have social events, educational events. We can have service learning events. We can have trips. We could, the list goes on and on. So when we think about the event that we're having, we need to think about, what do we want people to walk away with? Maybe it's that we brought this amazing speaker and they're walking away with a new mindset, or something, not a new mindset. You can't get a new mindset. Let me try that again. A new thought, or something that maybe has just sparked some interest in someone. Maybe it's a social event and you just want to get people around who are like-minded and like something that's similar to each other. So whatever it is, you need to figure out what you want people to learn, okay, and want them to experience. And then question 4 goes back a little bit to question 1 about the mission of your organization and how are your events aligning with your mission? Okay, so again, if you want to hold an event, I'm just going to pick something random. Maybe you're the community garden, but you want to have a video game tournament. Well, we might say to you, well, how does that meet the mission of your event? The mission of your organization. I'm sorry, you all. I have been talking a lot today, and I apologize. I feel like I'm tongue-tied. So that is question 4. All right, so you think about all of these things, you're with your group, and now it's time to brainstorm. Now it's time to figure out, what the heck are we going to be doing? Okay, and these are just 11 questions that you can think about as you start brainstorming. And some of these go with those questions, right? What's the purpose of your event? What activities or elements are you going to incorporate to support the purpose, right? And the mission? Are there opportunities to collaborate with other clubs, organizations, or departments, whether it's at CCBC or externally? Who's going to take the lead? Okay, so many times lately, I've been hearing a lot of students say, well, we're working as a large committee. I absolutely love that. I love collaborative work, and I love those things. You know, we don't really need a hierarchy. We don't want a president and vice president. Some clubs do, and that's fine. But even if you have a hierarchy, it doesn't mean you need to be in charge all of the time, right? So it's okay for someone to say, I'll take the lead on that and be that contact person, okay? If some people are not comfortable with that, maybe it's a co-lead. Maybe two people will work on it together. But you need to have someone who's going to be the point person for it. What time of the day or the day of the week is going to be ideal for our event? A lot of times, you know, you all will come to us and say, well, what day should we have it? What day will you all be able to make it? Right? It's your event. You need to work around your schedules and your club's time frame that's going to work best, right? But always have a backup, because you never know what's going to happen. You might think this is the best day, the best time, the location is perfect, and we come back to you and we'll say, you know what, that day's just not going to work in that space. Do you want to think of a different space, or do you want to think of a different day? Right? So I always say, have a backup plan. Have plan A and plan B. Sometimes you need plan C, but we never get there as often. How many people are you expecting there? That's going to dictate a lot of things to you. If you need supplies, you need to think about how many people. If you are thinking about your space, you need to make sure the space can accommodate the number of people who are coming. If you think about having catering at your event, again, you need to know the number of people so you can order the appropriate amount of whatever you need for your event. I already talked a little bit about locations, but what locations are ideal? What's the ideal start time and end time? Who's most likely to attend your event? Okay. What's your budget for the event? Because you are going to have to put that on the event request form. And then what marketing will you use to publicize the event? And I'm going to jump into marketing in a little bit. Okay. So actually right now, here I go. So when you think about publicity and you think about marketing, there are some things I want you to all consider. I want you to consider if it's going to be a cost to you. What I can tell you is not a cost to you. Okay, number one is utilizing student engagement social media, and I will put some, or maybe my colleagues can put some links in the chat while I do this. We have a publicity form that you all can fill out, and we will help you with publicity. All the things that I'm about to talk about are all free to you all as clubs and organizations. So we will post it on our social media, on student engagement social media for you. You can post it on your own your own social media if you have it, okay? Collaborate with us on Instagram. Tag us in things so that we can reshare it for you. Do those things. The other thing that we will do for free is we will print flyers for you, okay, to hang on the bulletin boards around campus, or maybe you want some flyers to hand out at an upcoming meeting. We can do that for you. That is not a problem. We can also post it on my CCBC into the connect messages that you see when you log into my CCBC. We can post it in there for you. There's one thing. We can also text it out to folks. We actually have a new texting service. So if you have been signed up for our texting for however amount of semesters or years, that service no longer works. And now there is a new service that you can sign up for. We will make sure to drop that link in here, because I think all of you should be signed up for that as a student organization leader or advisor, because you should see what's going on campus at all times. So texting, printing, social media. Thank you, Danson, for being my backup here. My CCBC. Oh, and then our Friday newsletter. That's the other thing. So every Friday, Student Engagement sends out the College Life newsletter. It goes to every student, whether they're credit or non-credit. Okay, that is thousands of students that are getting this newsletter every single week. So not only should you be reading the newsletter to see what's going on, you should be submitting all of your publicity in order to be able to have it advertised. Okay, so I kind of went on a tangent there, but it goes along with budget, because all of those things are free, completely free to you. If you want to do something different, then you have to think about that. Think about your audience. Typically, your audience for all of your events are going to be our students. So how do you appeal to CCBC students? just like yourself. Think about the language that you want to use, okay? Think about the different resources that are out there. I just explained all that student engagement can do to assist you. But we can help in many capacities. We have many different supplies and things like that that we can help you all. So come and ask us, hey, do you guys have this? Would we be able to do this? Do you all know that we have a button machine? You can make some buttons, like you can do some different things that you might not have thought about. Think about where you want to publicize, and then think about your time schedule. Okay. Here's a huge pet peeve of mine. And I'm sure it will be of some of yours too. But we ask for time leading into being able to help you publicize, right? So if we get this form in a day before your event, it's going to be really hard for us to be able to help you. So you need to plan. You need to plan in advance to make sure that we get your flyer, publicity, whatever it is that you're using, so that we can help you advertise it in an appropriate amount of time. One day before an event is not going to be enough to get you a good turnout. Okay? You can go on, Dan. Thank you. So, really quickly in the chat, I just want you to think very quickly, what kind of publicity gets your attention? And why? Why does it get your attention? So just use the chat for a minute and let's just see what you guys have. I realize I'm not at the bottom. So what kind of publicity gets your attention? And maybe why that is. Social media posts, especially when they're well-designed, eye-catching. Social media, I spend a lot of time there. Flyers on bulletin boards, okay. Text alerts, because you always have your phone in your hand. Yes. Bold and colorful flyers that are easy to read. Yes. Easy to read, clearly written. Social media. Yes, you all. Interesting visuals, colors, photos, graphics, QR codes. Yes, yes. Social media. Yes. It's nice to see videos. Yes. I love that idea. Doing some videos is really great to have in there. Text alerts, social media. Yes. Thank you all so much for posting all of that. So I want you to think about that and maybe ask your members too, what gets your attention, right? Because those are the things that you're going to want to do to get the students' attention that you want to attend your events. Don't just assume that the way that you have always done something is what's going to work now. Okay? You can keep going, Dan. So there are traditional ways to get out the word, right? Your publicity. I'm only going to touch on this really quickly. We're actually going to get into this a little bit more in one of our think tanks, which I will explain a little bit later on this afternoon. But posters, flyers, putting things in the ground, right? That I'm sure you all have seen those before. They're called ground stakes, where you can have like a poster board, but it goes into the ground so people have to walk by it, right? Think about having an information table in a high traffic area. Some high traffic areas would be like the cafeteria, right? Maybe outside the library, wherever people gather a lot, okay? A sandwich board is just like a piece of paper that goes back to back. You can kind of just make it. Sidewalk chalk, table tents, banners. These are all traditional things that you can do. So you can keep going, Dan. There's also non-traditional things. Okay. So I want you to also think about things that maybe you haven't thought about. I know I kind of gave you a preview of this already, but buttons, and maybe you think about doing some teasers to your event. Maybe it's do you know what's happening on Friday, September the 9th? I just made that up. I don't think September the 9th is a Friday. But it's probably going to spark some interest, right? Like, I don't know what's going on Friday, September the 9th. So who's going to tell me, right? So do something like that. Before class one day, write on the blackboard, write on the whiteboard, and just say, Oh, Linda, that's why I picked it. It was because it's your birthday. Right on event today, 3 o'clock, this room, see you there. What's the worst that's going to happen? And I'm sorry for faculty, but hopefully you agree with me. But the worst that's going to happen is the faculty member is going to come in and just erase it. But at least people saw it before they erased it. Ask your faculty member if you can do an announcement, okay? In the class before your class starts or at the end. There are so many things that you all can do. Pass out free tickets. It's already a free event. You know, it's not going to be that hard. Print some tickets out and say, hey, turn this in today for our event. It's free. Okay. All right, you can keep going. Oop. So these are just some really quick tips on flyers. And I see all your flyers that come in. And I will tell you that I will give some feedback if we need to maybe adjust some things or something is off. The biggest thing I need to tell you all is that every flyer that comes out for clubs and organizations needs to have the student engagement template on it. I believe Dan Sim has included that information in his emails that have gone out, but he is also dropping it in the chat for you all. That needs to be on every flyer that you make in order for us to print, post, whatever it is. Okay. I can't stress that enough. I will send it back to you and ask you to put the template on there. But when you make the flyer, make sure all of these things you have a clear call to action. You know, when someone looks at that flyer, they know exactly what's going on. You're using quality images. Please don't use images that when you make it bigger or something, it becomes blurry, right? Then people are just going to look at your flyer and go, well, it's a blurry image. They're not going to take anything away from it. Have a compelling headline. Proofread, proofread, proofread. Proofread your flyers. Okay. And once you proofread it, have another friend proofread and then have another friend proofread. Think about your target audience. Make sure there's contact information on there so that people, if they have questions, they can get a hold of somebody. Keep it simple. Don't clutter it too much. Too many words and people don't want to read it. I personally don't want to read a flyer that's like a research paper, right? That's not going to keep my attention. So make it simple, bold what you need to bold, make sure I know where I'm going, and make sure it's appealing to me. And think about contrast. Okay. It is fine to use color. It is fine to do that. And here's a new little thing, you all. This thing called AI. Okay. We can use AI to our advantage. If you go into any type of system, you know, Canva or anything like that, they have ways that you can say, help me with contrast of this. Okay. Canva is now offering an EDU subscription for anyone who has an education email. So you all can go get a subscription to Canva if you don't have it, and you can get access to so many templates. Okay. Go there. Use AI. If you say, hey, I want to make this, I want to use contrasting colors, it'll tell you, you want to use this or this. Okay. Use those things to your advantage. All right. Enough about publicity. Budget. We will get more into budget as we go, you know, throughout the semester. But the biggest things for everyone to know is that you do not have access to a budget until you complete your registration process for your clubs and organization. Okay. Again, Dan Sim is sending amazing emails out that are very detailed. They have a lot of information, so you need to scroll and go find what you need. But every club has to register every semester. If you don't do that, you do not get the access to your budget, to reserving space, and for us to help you with anything, because then you're not officially seen as a club. Okay. When it comes to a budget, never buy anything on behalf of your club until it is approved by the Office of Student Engagement. I cannot stress that enough. I'm going to say it again because that's how adamant I am. Do not buy anything unless it's approved by the Office of Student Engagement for your club and organization. Okay. You will submit your budget when you submit your event planning sheet. Okay. Or your event request, excuse me. You will submit a budget with that. When you get the approval back saying, yes, this is approved, maybe you've asked for space and you know, this is the budget, this is what you want to buy, you will get all of that in your confirmation. Once you get that confirmation, you may purchase things after that. Biggest thing, we are tax exempt. Okay. What that means is CCBC does not pay tax for anything. So if you go out and buy anything on behalf of the club, you must show the tax exempt form. If you do not show that form and you submit a receipt for us, we cannot reimburse you for tax. Okay. There are a couple of ways that you can buy items. The first way is that you can put all of the items that you want in the event request form and we can purchase them for you. Okay. A lot of times clubs like to use Amazon. It's easy access. You know, we can just get it shipped right to campus, send us the Amazon links, we order, it comes in, we let you know it's in, money doesn't have to exchange hands. I personally think that's the easiest way of doing things. But there are times where maybe you want to get something at a very specific place. Maybe you know exactly what you need and it's not available on an online platform in some way, shape, or form, and you want to go out and buy something. That is absolutely fine. You can go out and you can buy it and you can get reimbursed for it. What I will tell you is when you get reimbursed for something, it does take a couple of weeks for that reimbursement to come through. So don't think, hey, I gave my receipt to Chrissy yesterday, so I should have my money tomorrow. That's not the way the college works, unfortunately. Okay, the college cuts checks on Thursdays. If you don't have it in by Wednesday, you have to wait till the next Thursday. Okay, so we have to work within the college's system at the same time. So just make it clear if you want us to purchase it or if you will be purchasing it. And if you're purchasing it, we ask for the person's name and ID number that will be reimbursed in the actual event request form. Okay. And then once you get through your event and things are going well, I really encourage you all to sit time and evaluate it. Okay. It's okay if things don't go right the first time. It's okay if things don't go right the second time. What is happening with those experiences is you're learning from something, right? So I want you to think about things like what went well? What are some things we might do differently if we did this event again? Meaning what things maybe didn't go as well as we had hoped them. And are there things that we need to change next time we do this? And write that down. Leave that legacy for the next person who might be in the role. It might be you. It might not be you. Okay. But write that down and say, okay, if we ever hold this event again, these are the things that we need to remember. And these are the things that we need to consider. These are the things that went really well. And these are the things that they made us a little nervous while we were doing it. All right. Are there any questions from anybody? I see there is one. Did I explain that to you? Getting approved to make purchases? Hopefully I did. If you still have questions, just go ahead and put it in there. So Dan Sim dropped a lot of links for you in this chat. As he was saying earlier, this chat is going to stay live after we leave today so that you can have access back to these links and all of that. So please, you know, make sure that you're going back and that you're checking and making sure you have all the links and you're checking your email. If for some reason you are a student leader and you are not getting Dan Sim's emails on behalf of clubs and orgs, please message him, let him know. But most likely what that means is that you have not been identified as a leader yet. So we want to make sure that that communication is happening with you. And I think that is my time right now. But what I do just want to do really quickly, I know you all took some time and introduced yourself, but to help with the drawing and all of that at the end and some tracking, I'm going to drop a Microsoft form in here. If you all could just, take a moment before we're finished today, and just fill out that form, that will help me with drawing some of our prizes and our winners at the end of today. And you do need to be present at the end of the symposium in order to win the prizes. So if you could just take a minute to do that, and I'll turn this back over to Dan Coca.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. I believe we're going to take a small water break slash chance for everyone to stretch their legs, and we will reconvene at 2:40. And then we'll go into our breakout rooms and yeah, proceed from there. So go on, stretch your legs, get a snack or some water.
Brian Hagan, your hand is up. Did you do that for something, or did you have a question? It's down.
Didn't you just tell me to stretch?
I'm glad you're still not lost in H-Tech.
I made it out, yes. So I don't know when I
Professor
put my
Hagan and
hand
I
up.
were trying to find our way out of H-Tech together a little bit ago at Catonsville.
Oh. That should be a club organization, the Catonsville Maze.
Right? The H-Tech building is just, it's a maze to those of us who are not there all the time.
And I used to teach at Catonsville pretty regularly. But, they added the new building after I left. And anyway, we made it.
We made it.
Best part about the H Tech building is it's shaped in the shape of an H, capital H.
I will remember that next time. Thank you.
That might have been helpful. We were just like, what hallway are we in now?
Yes.
Got a couple of hands here.
Yeah, I see that. Myron?
Hi, Christy. Just a question. This year, is there any particular different regulations? I think I'm going to try to have the meetings virtual this year. I know I still have to get the events approved and anything, but are there any special, like, I just running through my teams and this kind of stuff? Or
Yeah, no, there's nothing, there's no like specific way you have to do it or not do it. We would just ask that you share that link with us so that we can help advertise it for you.
Great. And I'm in a weird situation because like all the members basically graduated. So I'm gonna have to rebuild the club. So I just have to have everything done by October 1st, right? All the members and
Correct.
officers and stuff. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so use Connect Fest, you use all of that to be able to build up your membership.
We know that's a big challenge for a lot of folks this time of year with wonderful students that came and then graduated. If you have not RSVP'd for a Space for Connect Fest, I put the information about the events and the link to RSVP in the chat just now. The deadline to register is next Wednesday, a week from today. So please make sure that you register so we can get you a space. It's a great way to recruit when we have hundreds of students walking by.
Okay. And just a recruitment flyer, do I have to have that approved by you all as well?
You can submit that through the publicity link and we'll be glad to help you out.
No, okay. All right. And one more thing, there isn't a minimum required of events for the semester, is there? So we can have like 2 events and that's fine, right?
It's whatever you all want to do. Yeah, it's whatever the club dictates. There is no minimum or maximum.
Okay, cool. All right. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Appreciate you. Thanks for helping keep that group going.
Hey, and I also was lost in H-Tech.
All right, we're bonding.
We now have a club.
Right? We have our own club.
We've got our own club now.
Hi, Chrissy. I wanted
Hi.
to ask, so it's October of this year, so we have not registered the clubs for this semester quite yet. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so, okay, all right. So still we need to register for this semester before we can access that budget.
Correct.
And then just kind of building off of what Myron said, for like meetings where we're just kind of planning stuff out for actual events, like, you know, if we have people who are already in the club or we're doing a Zoom meeting, you do want us to send that link over to you guys?
Yes, please, because in that Friday newsletter, we
Uh-huh.
actually do a calendar in there, and we'll put all of the club meetings in there and where they're meeting. So if you're going to meet virtually, it would be very helpful for us to be able to have that link there to be able to direct people right to you.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Hi, Liz. I can't hear you if you're speaking, Liz.
Maybe we'll come back to Liz.
Yeah.
Deja, you have a question? Good to see you.
Is she using headset?
There you are.
Maybe.
Deja, do you have a question? You have your hand up.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Khadija, and I just wonder about when you talk about the, reserve those tents. Can you give me a little more information? I was last year in the, the feast event. So that's kind of so I'm also in the honor department. I want to know if I can bring something, information from them to that tent. Is that the way how it work, or it's something different? Or can you just give me a little bit more information about it?
Yeah, so Connect Fest is the annual fair with academic pathways set up, student organizations, and different campus resources. And it's an opportunity to come together. There's a couple of pictures linked in the comment I just threw in the chat from year before last year, I think it was. But we'll have different entertainment, we'll have free lunches, but it's a chance really for new students and returning students to come and kind of experience the entirety of what CCBC offers, different ways to engage on campus through athletics, different ways to engage through student organizations, and given an opportunity to know about all the different resources that CCBC offers and talk to there. So a lot of student organizations will either bring printouts of upcoming events, upcoming meetings, ways to connect with folks. We're also going to set you up this year as a student organization with a QR code to scan to have out there and information to really capture a list of those who are interested in your student group. So that'll be something we distribute to each of the events once it's set up and once you are reserved for that. So ideally, each group is reserving a space when they know that, hey, we're definitely going to be there. We have people who can be present at that event. Right now, a lot of student organizations are trying to figure out, if I want to be at the Catonsville event at 11 to 1:30 on the 3rd of September, is there anyone who actually can be present to host this table? Do we want to give away candy? What do we want to do? So once that's figured out, we'd ask you to submit that form so we can make sure we get a table reserved for your groups.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. If there aren't any more questions, I think we're going to get into the breakout rooms. So I will open them now. And you guys will be able to choose your own rooms that you can go into. So the choices are recruitment and retention, membership, delegation, social media, advisors connect, and new student leaders. And I'll join my room once everyone's gotten into theirs. Are we able to attend multiple? Unfortunately, you're only able to attend one for now, but if you wanted to go back and rewatch the symposium for a different part, that would be what I would suggest. Hey, Romy. So what we're doing right now is we're just joining the different breakout rooms right now. And the choices are social media, membership, delegation, advisors connect, and new student leaders. Oh, thank you, Salwa. Yeah, no problem, Romy. So basically, if you go into, I don't know if you guys are on your phone, but there's, let me see. I'm not sure if there's a way to put you into your rooms. So I'll just do it manually. 2 for Khadija. Yeah, what's up, Salwa?
We can just join the rooms.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't see anybody in the social media room yet. That's why I was confused.
Okay, yeah, just join and Destiny will be in there in a sec.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Am I being primitive or I don't see the breakout button or like the room button like Zoom?
If you're on the computer, it'll be at the top. I'm going to assign people who has to be assigned, so just give me 1 sec. Select. Way easier. Technical difficulties.
I feel like not everyone's back yet.
I think they're still doing a breakout in Dan Sims' section and Destiny's section.
Mm.
Chrissy,
They're
do you want to
chatty.
hear him? Yeah. Chrissy, do you want to hear my joke?
I love jokes.
Okay, why can't you trust somebody named Chris?
I don't know, Jordan. Why can't you trust someone named Chris?
Because
Careful there.
because Chris crossed applesauce.
Okay, we'll accept that. Not bad, not bad.
We know it would stay G-rated. All right, I see some more people coming in.
I had a quick question, Chrissy.
Of course.
This is being recorded. Will all students have, or at least student leaders have access to this afterwards?
Yes, they will. It'll be
Now-
uploaded to our YouTube channel, and those links will be sent out in emails that Dan Sim will send out.
Sweet. And then were the break rooms recorded, or was that just not? Because it didn't look like it was being recorded then.
I don't think the breakout rooms were recorded.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
While we're waiting for everyone to come back, if you all can make sure to fill out that Microsoft form. It looks like 18 of you have. Thank you. I can put it back in the chat if you need it. I know there was a lot of links that we were sending you all. So thank you all for doing that. That'll help us track attendance. And then I'm also going to use that as I start drawing for prizes in a little bit.
Chrissy, a question.
Of course.
And this still may be addressed later in the session, but in terms of when we have club activities and we want to give out a prize, are we still doing it on the one card?
That is the preferred method of doing it. Because then there's no federal regulations that we have to abide by. If we do gift cards, we do have to have students complete a form. It doesn't mean that they won't be able to get the gift card. It just means that they have to give additional information. And depending upon how much money they get on the gift card, it might be reported for tax purposes.
I don't think anybody's giving out that much money, but
Well, you never know. A student might get one from you, and then they get one from another
true.
department, another department. It's a matter of how much they get within a year.
Because I know occasionally I've heard grumblings from students that we won't give them actual cash, and we can certainly understand that they'd appreciate even $20 in extra cash. But I say, good, you got it on your one card. We have a lovely cafe available on each of our campuses.
Yeah.
Snack up.
And they can also use the one card in the bookstore. The bookstore sells gift cards. I'm
So
just
they
saying.
can basically do an exchange.
I didn't say
Ish.
that. I'm just saying that there's many things you can buy in the bookstore.
We can also take one card payment for aquarium tickets or zoo tickets or Orioles tickets, a whole bunch of stuff. So, but I hear you, Brian.
It's frustrating. Oh, thank you all so much. The forms are coming in. I appreciate that. Dan Coco, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. My mic was muted. Okay, so
right.
Thank you all for enjoying. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties of getting everybody into their rooms. So I apologize if you were in my room and couldn't hear my full segment, but I will be sure to send out the slides to everyone who attended today. So we're going to talk about what we have coming up next week. We have first week of classes, welcome week, is coming up. So every day we have a new and different thing going on every day. So on Monday, we have the make your own from 10 to 2, and these are make and takes. So we have college home signs from 10 to 2, the Catonsville Clock Tower, laser keychains in the Dundalk Lloyd lobby downstairs. And at Essex, we have street signs in the Roma Cafe. And then we have a welcome bag giveaway from 5:30 to 7 at Catonsville, Dundalk, and Essex, and then all day at Owings Mills. Tuesday, we have more make your own, this time laser keychains at Catonsville, street signs at Dundalk, and college home signs at Essex. And then once again, we have the welcome bag giveaway at night. And then Wednesday, if you want to stop by the student engagement office, we have sweet treats. So from 11 to 1. So Catonsville, it'll be at the Quad. Dundalk, it'll be at the Lloyd College lobby in the bottom floor. And then Essex will be the Roma lobby 5 to 6. And then Thursday at our office is free popcorn from 11 to 1.
15, 20.
And our offices on the Catonsville campus are located in the barn in the lower level. At Essex, it's Roma 102. And at Dundalk, it is Lloyd 204. And then we also have like trivia virtually at noon, so at 12 p.m. And then the weeks after that will be Connect Fest, which we've mentioned is a great way for you to grow your club and get connected with more students and kind of feel out those collaboration efforts that you can have with other clubs throughout the semester. It's a really great it's a really great resource to have, And then there's also a free meal, a free t-shirt, and $5 added to your one card if you complete the scavenger hunt. So yeah, it's going to be a great first few weeks and rest of the semester, and I think it's gonna go great. And that is the end.
So is it my turn?
Yep.
So a couple of things, of course, is we just wanted to see if there's any other questions that we can answer for folks. I know, this does not give you everything that you possibly need to know in order to be a student leader. This is just a starting point, to get you started for this semester. Some of you have been leaders, some of you are new at this, and so, there could be a whole variety of questions that are out there. While you're thinking of those questions, and you can either raise your hand or you could put them in the chat, I do just want to go through a couple of just different resources that are available to you all, and realize that we could have probably told you about these a little bit earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. But thanks to the advisors, they helped me remember. So I know you all are familiar with my CCBC, because, well, you have to go on it for everything. Everyone now should have access to the student engagement community. So what I'm going to do is over here on the left-hand navigation, if you go down to CCBC communities, and that opens, you will not see manage because obviously this is mine. You will see your groups, and student engagement should be in there for you. Once you go in here, this has so much for you to be able to see, not just about student engagement, but if you toggle over here, if you go to student clubs and organizations, this is where you can find the complete list of all of the clubs and organizations that we have. You can find also the contact information for the advisor, for the clubs and organizations, and what campus they are on. Okay, so this is continuously being updated, and Danson will continue to do that. So this is the best place to go for the most updated version. I like to point out that over here on the right-hand side are all of these quick links. So I know you have the email from Dan, and it's all in one spot, but sometimes we lose things and things just, whatever. You can always come here and get to the event and meeting requests, the publicity form, the travel application, the waiver. Anytime that you are going on a trip or going off campus, waivers have to be completed. That's all right here. Also, if you want to start a new club, that is here. In addition to everything that you all need to do in order to be an active organization for this year. You will see this has not been updated, so ignore the SGA open meetings. That is not there. But you also have different files and resources here. This is where the tax exempt form can be found. This is where the student engagement template that we put in the chat earlier is. The Sodexo menus, which will cross our fingers be updated shortly for you all. And then this is a sample constitution. So this is a really good resource for you all to be able to go into. And then there's other links over here too that will talk to you a little bit about all the leadership development opportunities. And that's a good segment to go into what we are going to be doing. These have not been updated, so I'm going to stop sharing because it looks like I don't know what I'm talking about right now. So yes, all advisors should have this too. I believe all students, faculty, and staff were added to the student engagement community. If for some reason you were not, please let me know because that is not what I was told. So hopefully that will be a little different. Okay, so leadership development is a big component of what we do in student engagement. And so last semester I started what were called the think tanks. We got some really good feedback from you all about the different think tanks that we have. So this flyer will be going out shortly along with the topics, but we are going to hold them once a week. They vary on the days that they're being held, but they're always at 2 o'clock. We will be using Zoom for these, but some of the things that we're going to be talking about. The first one is going to be, how do I set up a table and how do I recruit at Connect Fest? Okay, that's really important, and we should have conversations about that. Some of the other ones are going to include, how do I make a flyer? How do I run a successful meeting? How do I build partnerships and collaborate with other clubs and organizations? Learning a little bit more about how to use Outlook or things that are going to be of a benefit to you, like Teams and stuff like that. And then we're also going to get into some kind of personal things for each of you as a student leader. So how do I talk more about being a student leader and putting it on my resume, right? How is this going to help me in my future? So I encourage you all to come to these. We will be recognizing clubs that have representation at least 5 of these in the fall and 5 in the spring at the banquet. So you want your club to be recognized. And honestly, I don't know if anyone who joined any of these last year would like to give any feedback on them. But again, from what you all shared with me, this was something that was just really useful and helpful to not just returning students, but also to new student leaders as you were starting to navigate this this fun time of being a leader. Yes, Jacob.
Me. Yeah. Well, I was about to say one word, but it's two. It was worth it. It was really worth it. They're really I don't know if I was going to be able to do what I was able to do like last year without them, to be honest, just because it's like one of those things of like, even if you kind of think you know what like the topic's about, you can always be surprised to learn a little bit something more that can help you even more. So yeah.
Thanks, Jacob. I appreciate that. And I'll go ahead and drop the topics in the chat for you all. Hopefully it doesn't come out really wonky. Oops. Nope, it's just going to give me more bullet points. Okay. So there's that. Some other parts about leadership is also, we have our leadership lunch series. This is open to all students at CCBC. You don't have to be a student leader. The think tanks are more for student leaders. These are for any student at CCBC. These are held every other week on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock and held virtually. So you can do them anywhere that you would like to go. But these are really developed in order to help you as a CCBC student develop some more of those like soft skills, some more of those power skills is what I've learned that they're called currently. So these are the dates. These will be held again at 1 o'clock. We'll have flyers that we will put out to you all to talk a little bit more about this, but it's really, these again are just really good topics just to learn about. So we encourage you all to come. We are going to be working through some kind of recognition for those of you who come to the majority of them. It's probably going to be a certificate for this year, but eventually we will hopefully have some badging that will come into place. But for this year, it'll be a certificate as long as you attend at least 4 out of the 6. Any questions about leadership development opportunities stuff? Cool. I had a couple more things, and then again I'm sure my colleagues are keeping an eye on the chat to see if any questions have come in. But we have a couple let me back up. I think I mentioned this. So when I was talking about publicity, the one thing that I just really want to stress to you all is that we do have a different texting link. And I just want to make sure that you all get signed up for it. So I'm going to share my screen. I think we put the link in the chat already. But these are all the ways that you can stay connected with student engagement. And I really just want to make sure that you all do that, not just for yourself, but also share this with your clubs and organization members. because this is their way they're going to be connected to what's going on at the college, not just for your club, but other clubs and organizations. You know, we post out things not just from our office, but other departments will ask us to help also. And so this is just a wealth of knowledge. So if you want to take a minute, and if you're able, you know, to scan the QR codes, or, you know, find that tiny URL that Dan just put in the chat, you can get signed up for the texting. It will not come from the same place that it came from before. So it's really important that everybody re-signs up for the texting, which I'm sure you all can understand when you have over 1,400 people on a texting and you're starting from scratch. We're just trying to push this out as much. So whatever you all can do to help us, we would appreciate that greatly. Let me think if there was anything else I wanted to do. I don't think so. I'm just still waiting to see if there's questions from you all. I feel like you all are quiet right now. I'm going to go open up that form, so I don't know if anyone else has anything. We're good listeners. I like that. I like that a lot. It's probably also a lot to take in, especially if you're new to this. So always go back and rewatch. All right. Well, just give me a couple minutes, and as long as you all have completed the check-in form, I'm gonna go ahead and get some winners.
Alyssa has a question, says, are we allowed to use the CCBC Moxie to promote student clubs?
The short
Hey,
answer
Liz.
is, go ahead, Dan.
Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, Chrissy. Alyssa, Moxie is for those who aren't familiar with it, Moxie are the TV screens around campus. Traditionally, the campus director's office who facilitates that wants those to be the big opportunities that are submitted at least a month in advance and have a more detailed, wider range than student organization events. And so they typically, with some exceptions, they typically would like to have us look at other venues to advertise events.
But we can always try. The worst they're gonna say is no. All right, so let's pick for the individuals to win. So we are going to do $25 on someone's one card. So I'm just gonna call on people to help me here. I have an Excel spreadsheet up. I promise I'll be honest. You all have a number on the Excel spreadsheet. So Dan Sim, give me a number between 1 and 33.
27.
Aaron Brooks, are you still here? Yay, she's still
Nice.
here. All right, Aaron, you will get $25 on your one card. Okay. $50 winner. Let's see. Dan Coco, go ahead. Number between 1 and 33, but not 27.
13.
Samuel Bradley. Are you still here?
I'm not seeing him.
Oh, all right. In 3, 2, 1. All right. New number, Dan Coco.
Let's go with 22.
Oh. Ashley Brown. Ashley, are you still here? Ashley Brown. Yay!
Woohoo!
All righty. Awesome. We will make sure to get that money on your one card. And now we will also select for the club lunch. So what this is if you had representation here today, I assign numbers to all the clubs that I believe I saw in the chat. And we are just going to choose a club today that will get a catered lunch from us. You just need to set up the time and the location and let us know. So let's see, Jordan, give me, oh, hold on. Give me a number between 1 and 22.
15.
Okay. All right. Are we ready? Phi Theta Kappa at Dundalk won the free lunch.
Nice. Woohoo.
So that's all really great. Congratulations to you all. And I'll turn it back over to Dan. Coco.
Thank you all for attending this semester's Student Club Symposium. Once again, I will send out the slides, and you will also have you will also be able to watch the recording of this on Teams, in case you wanted to look at other sections. I appreciate you all being here, listening to us talk. I hope you guys learned some stuff. And I wish you all the very best fall semester. And if anyone wants to stick around and if they have any extra questions, we'll be happy to answer them. But until then, I'll see you guys around campus. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Learned a lot.
Yes. Hi, Alyssa.
Hello, Alisa.
Elisa, excuse me.
No problem. So I wasn't able to attend the social media breakout room. And could you give me a little bit of an idea of what the social media looks like? Is it like through CCBC student engagement? Like, where is it?
So-
Is it on like a bunch of different platforms? Very briefly.
So we have a few different social media options, but we mainly use Facebook and Instagram. So these are both accounts that you can follow. We post about a range of things. So we post information for our department. If other departments ask, they can have us publicize information for their events and things like that. And then we also have an option for student clubs and organizations to request through our publicity form to post information about their clubs or events that they may be having. Now there is the other option, which is the CCBC community, which is on the My CCBC, and that usually is mainly primarily just for our department. But as like I said, with our social media, it can also be other departments that might ask for us to post some of their information too. on the things that they shared in chat, they did share some ways of accessing some of these. So you can.
You're muted, Destiny.
Sorry, I hit the mute button on this by accident. I can put in the chat really quick what the Instagram name is, and then I can see if I can find a link for our Facebook as well.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Or if somebody else has a link for our Facebook. Well, let me get the Instagram really quick.
So with us saying that, that doesn't mean that your club cannot create your own social media. That's just the student engagement ones. We just ask that if you do that, you write down those passwords somewhere really safe or share them with us, just so for longevity of the organization, we would be able to have access to that. But it doesn't mean that you can't create your own. That's just the student engagement. And we just ask that you tag us or make us a collaborator or whatever, and then we can help share out your stuff in addition to us sharing it out just individually for you if you create your own.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then let me type Facebook.
And just to, I don't know if anyone wants to know this, but we use Facebook and Instagram mostly because with the ban on TikTok through the government, we actually cannot create a TikTok account. So we don't have that. And we have found that X, formerly known as Twitter, we were not getting any interactions on that. So we actually got rid of that.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Have a great rest of your day.
See you.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I have a question. I know last just the entire academic year we were all experiencing